How tragic was the fate of Jews during World War I. To cover up their crimes against the Jews, the German army dug up the bodies of Jews who had already been buried and burned them. Thousands of bodies were piled up like a mountain. The stench from the burning site was unbearable. Ashes from the crematorium floated down like snow, accumulating in a thick layer on the ground. To commemorate this horrific chapter in history, the entire film is presented in black and white. In September 1939, after the German army occupied Poland, they established special Jewish ghettos. To concentrate and manage all Jews, a German businessman named Schindler, who had failed in his business ventures, saw the cheap labor force of the Jews and sensed a business opportunity. He planned to open a factory in Poland. Using his Nazi status, he went to a high-end restaurant to seek out officers who could assist him. With his keen observation skills and elegant demeanor, Schindler quickly befriended a large number of officers. After building these military connections, the next step was to find wealthy Jews to invest. Through the officers' introductions, he found the leader in charge of the Jewish district and asked him to introduce wealthy Jews for investment. However, Hitler had already issued an order prohibiting Jews from owning assets. No matter how much money they had, it was worthless paper. They couldn't even buy daily necessities. Moreover, life was more important than money. The Jews had no choice but to cooperate with Schindler. After successfully securing the funds to open the factory, in order to secure military orders, Schindler purchased high-end red wine, cigars, and canned goods from the black market and gifted them to German officers he had met at restaurants. He also selected a dozen young, attractive secretaries to win the officers' favor. With military connections, Schindler quickly secured large orders. The Jewish labor force in the concentration camps was extremely cheap, and Schindler made a fortune from a failed businessman. He became a prominent figure in high society, profiting greatly from the war. At this point, Schindler did not realize that his military supply factory had indirectly saved many Jews. Those Jews deemed worthless were summarily executed by the German army. An elderly man with one arm, shoveling snow, was discovered by several German soldiers. Despite his repeated explanations that he was an important technician at the factory, he was shot dead. The German soldiers believed that the one-armed old man had no value and did not deserve to live in this world. What was even worse was that the Jewish quarter was taken over by a colonel named Baumann, who was known as the Jewish Terminator, and whose methods were so brutal that they were beyond belief. He ordered the construction of concentration camps and looted the property of Jews everywhere. Some Jews, in order to protect their property, wrapped their gold and diamonds in bread and swallowed them. Some Jews chose euthanasia, as this method of death was less painful than being sent to a concentration camp. The rest were sent to concentration camps. The entire Jewish quarter was filled with violence and bloodshed. Schindler witnessed all of this. He was shocked, but powerless to act. Watching how